Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So today is day 3 of the referendum in the 4 regions, oblasts of Ukraine. We'll say Ukraine. Anyway, so bombing from Ukraine has intensified with 200 in 24 hours, 250 bombs and artillery shells have fallen on the city of Donetsk. This is a civilian center, and in one case, 2 shells hit, actually HIMARS, hit a hotel in which by what the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense is saying, 2 RT propagandists were staying there. Propagandists. What they mean is journalists. There were 2 journalists staying at the hotel, and this is a justification for bombing a hotel. This is not military. There had been military presence, I guess, at the hotel the day before, but they had departed the day before. If you're going to bomb military targets move. They're mobile. They change. You don't. Because a military presence, and especially in modern times, you've got drones, you've got intelligence and all this stuff. If you bomb, a place where the military was at yesterday, you can't count on it being there today. Besides, it is a hotel. Civilians are at the hotel. Anyway, and by the way, one of those journalists is really good. I watched him a lot. He's extremely good. And I've been watching him for years, long before any of this conflict began. And he's gone into different conflict zones, directly into conflict zones, many times, long before this began. He extremely prolific. He's literate. And he's brave. But anyway, so the journalists were okay. They had their room collapse on top of them. But 2 people at the hotel were killed. 2 civilians were killed. In spite of this increase in bombing, today is seeing the heaviest rate of voting that has been seen so far. Up to today, an estimated 50% in different regions have already voted. But today, there are more people voting than any day before, in spite of intensified bombing on civilian centers. The result of this, I genuinely expect across all 4 regions to be probably 98-99% in favor of rejoining Russia. Let's say that previously you were pro-Ukraine anyway. Let's say that one region, any given region, or multiple regions, decide that they are going to rejoin Ukraine. What's going to happen from there? Well, all right, so Russia's going to say, okay, you don't want us here, we're going to leave. They will set up an evacuation corridor for anybody that wants to leave, because these people are going to be in fear for their lives. All right? So once everybody's evacuated that wants to go, then Russian forces move out. Ukrainian forces move in. What's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to bring in military equipment, howitzers, and so forth, and rocket launchers, and all this kind of stuff. And by history, they're going to set these things up right in the middle of your town. Well, you just made that town a military target. In addition, they're going to go through and they're going to raid your house. They're going to look for proof that you have been in some way collaborating, sympathetic, to Russian forces. What is the standard for that? Now, I've gone into the standards of some of that before, but it goes even further. The standard is so low that in a region that has no water, no food, and from any other source, if you have food or water that has been provided by the Russians, you are now a Russian collaborator. You are going to be arrested. Okay, and let's say that none of that is true. If you're a male 18 to 60 years old, you are now part of the Ukrainian military. You've just been drafted. Even if you haven't been fighting, if you're completely against any of this, you're part of the Ukrainian military. You may have lived in one of these regions your entire life, but now you're part of the Ukrainian military and you're going to have to fight against your own people. You're going to have to target civilian areas in your own region. All right, so that's why I'm expecting 98 to 99%. In addition, okay, so let's say Zaporozhye decides to rejoin Ukraine. Ukraine comes in and sets up all their military. Well, the areas Kherson and Donetsk, or Donbass, on either side of that. The adjoining region, wherever it is. Well, that part has become part of Russia. And if the Ukrainian military, which you're now part of, or you're a civilian, the Ukrainian military that came into your region starts attacking Russia, what is now effectively Russia. Well, that means Russia is going to respond with intensified ferocity because you have attacked Russia, or your area has attacked Russia. You don't have to be a part of it. You might be female and you've got children, but they come in, they start bombing, trying to raid into what is now sovereign Russia. How is Russia going to respond? Well, even if Russia isn't going to try and take that region over, they're going to just completely crush any military which is located in civilian centers, which means your city is going to be leveled. That's it. I mean, Russia is absolutely intensifying this conflict with the partial mobilization They mean business. This referendum is an effort at a peaceful resolution to this conflict. Again, I expect that once this happens, they will name these regions as part of Russia and then tell Ukraine, let's sit down and have peace talks. But they've been doing that all along. It's not going to make any difference to Ukraine. But now they come in, and I was wrong about how many Russian forces were there. Of course, numbers vary. A lot of this is like the Wagner. The Wagners, they're a mercenary force. We don't really know how many members there are. They're very secretive. But as far as people that are contracted, it's actually been an estimated 100,000, 80 to 100,000. Most of the fighting has been done by the DPR and LPR forces. Russia has been providing the equipment, and they did the actual bombing, artillery and so forth at first, but along the way they've been training the LPR and DPR forces on how to use this equipment. They've been doing training all along the way, and live combat is some pretty harsh training, but highly effective. And these people had previously been part of Ukraine, so a lot of them have military experience and know the Ukrainian military tactics. Of course, NATO has been doing training of the Ukrainians during this, so things have been pretty dynamic. They've changed rapidly. But how is this going to work out with 300,000 more forces coming in and bringing equipment? Like I said, they're going to send more equipment in ahead of the rains. As far as military movement, there hasn't been a lot of change of any of the borders anywhere. Ukraine has tried making advances, and for the most part, it sounds like, and that includes from Ukrainian forces. There haven't been any changes in the map showing where anything has changed. So, what was I getting to? Hold on. Up to this point, Ukrainian forces have largely been relying on forest warfare. They put their artillery very heavily into forest areas, but they've only got a couple of weeks left where that's going to be an option, because fall is coming, and it comes very rapidly, very suddenly. There are heavy rains coming, and all the trees are going to lose all their leaves. So all that heavy equipment, artillery, infantry forces that have been in the forest areas, they're not going to have that canopy to obscure their position anymore. So you send a drone over, you're going to see them. So that's going to make a big change right there. And on Russia's side, they want to get that equipment in there before it would just get bogged down in the mud trying to get it there. That's why I'm saying that they're going to send the equipment ahead. You can send people through the mud, but you can't send this really heavy equipment through the mud very effectively. All right. That's it. I'm still hoping that, I'm hoping above hope, not counting on it, but hoping above hope that this referendum will lead to peace talks. That's what I am hoping, above hope. I do not want people dying. I have not wanted people dying. Since 2014, I have not wanted people dying. I do not support warfare. I support diplomacy. I support the will of people to make their own self-determination. No matter what. So, anyway, either we support peace, or we support more war. Which is it? You can't be anywhere in between. It is one or the other. That is an absolute. All right, share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.